Did you know that if you right click the Windows 11 Start menu, you get all these options presented to you, or that in the task view you can rename and apply a separate wallpaper to each of your virtual desktops by right clicking, or even the fact that you can launch Task Manager super quickly by pressing Ctrl, Shift and Escape? Well, now you know. If you think you know everything there is to know about Windows, then think again, because those are just 3 of the 50 Windows tips I'll cover in this video. Well, more like 75, and the best bit is that I'll cover them all in under 18 minutes. Anyway, there's no time to lose, let's get started. Oh, and I'll just be speaking about stock Windows, no power toys here or secret functionality. If you want that, then check out this playlist. Number 4, dragging options. Alright, so during my time contemplating my tech choices, yeah, that's another topic for another video entirely, I've learned that on macOS you have various dragging options, and it turns out that this is also available on Windows, but is actually even more powerful. Holding Ctrl drops a duplicate, holding Shift moves a file, holding Alt creates a shortcut, and dragging and dropping with the right mouse button instead of the left one gives you a dialog box of additional options. Number 5, Trackpad Settings. Now on a laptop, don't stick with the default settings and gestures, but rather head into the settings and then go to the advanced gestures, where you can really customize things quite a bit. Nothing super groundbreaking, but I bet there are quite a few options in here that would work better than the defaults for many people. Number 6, Shake to show windows. A classic one, but if you shake the window title bar, you're able to minimize all of the windows quickly without losing the one that you have focus on. Options for this are also present in the settings. Number 7, Alt Tab. Definitely one of the more popular shortcuts present in Windows. However, there is quite a bit of stock configuration that you can do by going into Settings, System, and then Multitasking. Number 8, Multitasking Shortcuts. Alt Escape, the alternative to Alt Tab, but instead of having to hold it and cycle between your apps, as long as they're open, you can switch between them instantly super fast. Windows Number to open an app in your taskbar at that respective numbered position. Windows T to cycle between the taskbar thumbnails. Windows M minimizes everything, and Windows Shift M brings all minimized windows up. Windows arrow keys will move your active window to various parts of the screen as well as minimize it. Alt F4 completely closes an application window regardless of the number of tabs present, and Windows Home minimizes all apps apart from the one that you have focus on. Number 9, Home and End keys. Home will take you to the top of the document or web page, and End will take you to the bottom. And in a text field, it's Control Home to go to the top and Control End to go to the bottom, because pressing the keys alone will take you to the start and end of a line respectively, and if you throw Shift into the mix, it will select the text based on the cursor's current position and the eventual position. And if it wasn't confusing enough, on laptops, if you don't have them listed out, it's function left and right arrow to enable home and end respectively. Trust me, it is quite useful once you get the hang of it. Number 10, Windows R shortcuts. Typing a dot in Windows R and then hitting enter will take you to your users folder in the File Explorer. Double dot opens a parent directory, so that's one before the users folder. Typing control printers allows you to get out not only the printers section of the settings easily, but also Bluetooth devices. Perfmon will allow you to get to the performance monitor for what that's worth, and Control opens control panel. Clean MGR opens disk cleanup, and MRT opens the Windows malicious software removal tool if you need that for some reason. Number 11, holding Shift when restarting. A simple one, but doing so will restart your PC, presenting the advanced Windows startup options. This includes being able to boot from an external drive, resetting, and advanced repair and recovery options. Number 12, right click the start button. Yes, I mentioned this at the start, but there is more to this, and that's a fact that when you right click the Windows icon, you'll notice that a letter is highlighted that corresponds to each of the menu items. So if you press a letter, it will launch each respective item. You can also bring up this menu with the Windows and X shortcut, so that way you don't even have to move your mouse. Number 13, slide to shut down. A legacy element in regards to the Windows touchscreen features, but if you right click on your desktop and create a shortcut and type in slide to shut down exe, when you run this shortcut, you'll be greeted with a slider that you can pull down to shut your PC in style. You could probably link this to a shortcut or macro potentially. Number 14, start menu and taskbar. If you prefer the taskbar to the right, you can do that in Windows 11, as well as customize the start menu to have more pins or more recommendations. You can also have various quick link file explorer folders present in here as well, and the ability to connect your phone to Windows via the phone link panel. Number 15, quick settings in the taskbar. Clicking in this region will bring up a bunch of controls, which you can actually customize by holding down and then dragging the icons as needed. Number 16, show seconds in the system tray. Nothing fancy, just a simple toggle in the settings that often goes unnoticed, which allows you to add seconds to the system tray. This is present under time and language, date and time, toggle show seconds. Number 17, additional time zones in the taskbar. So if you right click your date and time and then press adjust date and time settings, settings will open up, and if you expand this menu item, you'll have the option to add 2 additional time zones, and after you've set them, whenever you hover over your date and time, the other 2 clocks will be shown to you, as well as when you open the panel completely, they'll be displayed at the top of the calendar. Number 18, Taskbar middle mouse button. To create new instances, don't right click and then press open new window in the taskbar. Instead, simply middle mouse click on an icon, or better still, use Ctrl N. And when it comes to tabs across your apps, whether that be in a browser or something else, you can use your middle mouse button to close them, the more you know. Number 19, a couple of File Explorer shortcuts. Don't right click and press create new folder, or worse still, go to this icon to create one. Simply press Ctrl Shift N. Likewise, if you need to get to the address bar, use the same shortcut you would in a browser, which is Ctrl L. Ctrl Shift then a number from 1 to 8 to instantly get to each respective icon view without having to scroll or click the drop down. To go up a path while in the Explorer, it's Alt and then up arrow, and for properties of a file or folder, it's Alt and then Enter. Middle clicking on anything opens it in a new tab, and in the details view, if you click the column headings, you can then proceed to add additional file attributes as columns, as there's quite a lot in here. When selecting something, I should also mention that you can invert the selection by clicking on these 3 dots and then pressing the option. Finally, press F11 to go full screen in the File Explorer and hide all the UI elements. Though there are better File Explorer alternatives out there, so be sure to check out these videos if you're interested. Number 20, grouping controls in the File Explorer. If you right click an area in the File Explorer, you have this option to group. A simple one, but one that's easily forgotten, especially compared to other view options. Number 21, excluding folders from search. Talking of settings, be sure to go to the excluded folders option to fine tune Windows search so that it doesn't search random folder locations that you don't want it to. Number 22, indexing options. If you search for indexing options in Windows search and then launch the first result, you'll get a pop-up, and if you press modify, another pop-up appears, allowing you to see the index locations as part of a tree. From here, you can then select and deselect various locations in the tree to help improve the way that Windows searches. This might be particularly handy if you need to search between different drives you might have installed. Number 23, the secret applications folder. And talking of macOS, if you press Windows R and then type this in and press enter, you'll be taken to a secret applications folder in the File Explorer where all of your applications are listed out. Probably not practical for launching an app, but it does provide a unified view of all your apps, a bit like the Launchpad on macOS. Not to mention, this is quite a secret folder because you can't even get an address for it. Though I'll have a list of Windows R based shortcuts a bit later on in the video. Number 24, Windows Search. It definitely gets a bad rep these days, and yes, compared to Power Toys and Everything Search, it's severely lacking. But let's look at what it can do well for this video. Finding settings is pretty decent and usually finds what you're looking for, even if they are hidden deep down. Calculations and conversions are handled pretty well, especially as an interactable calculator UI is also provided when you do. Though when searching, as a reminder, you do have these categories which you can then filter down your search by, and the fact that you can type certain commands in also help to refine things further. Personally, I like file semicolon and folder semicolon, which immediately reduces all other results and really helps to find what I'm looking for. And finally, search settings and indexing options have quick shortcuts in the 3-dot menu in the top left. Number 25, some housekeeping. Alright, and getting to the halfway point in this video, here's some quick housekeeping things. Hold Ctrl and scroll in File Explorer to adjust icon size, no need to pick from a drop down. Shift click to get the old right click menu back, pretty simple but very useful. Hide the desktop icons with right click options to quickly clear your clutter. Ctrl T to create new tabs inside of the File Explorer, and Ctrl W to close them. If you want to increase the size of the icons on the desktop, it's Ctrl Shift and then scroll, or just use the drop downs. Ctrl Backspace to delete an entire word backwards. Ctrl Delete to delete words forwards, Shift to select text while using arrow keys, and Ctrl Shift to select whole words while using the arrow keys. Not to mention, clicking in the bottom right will show your desktop, if for some reason you weren't aware of that. There's probably a few more that I'm missing, so drop them in the comments below if so. Number 26, some universal keyboard shortcuts. Alt print screen to take a screenshot of your entire screen and doesn't copy it to your clipboard, but rather saves it in a location of your choosing for safekeeping. Windows V to open your clipboard history, Shift and scroll to scroll horizontally if you don't have a side scroll wheel, Windows Ctrl D to create a new desktop, Windows Ctrl and F4 to close a desktop, and Windows Ctrl and the arrow key to move between them without touching your mouse. Number 27, quick window split options. If you hover over the maximize button on any window, you'll get these options. But did you know that by pressing Windows and Z, you can bring up this interface which then allows you to choose the split based on the number that you type next? Well, now you know. Number 28, special keyboard codes. Now you might know that by pressing Windows and the period key, it brings up the emoji menu with various tabs allowing you to insert symbols and other special characters super easily. However, for some special characters, there is a faster way, which is with a numpad and typing various codes. Here's a short table covering some of the popular ones. Number 29, Notepad. Notepad tips. So if you type .log in the Notepad, that's fully in capitals, and then save it and then close it, every time that you open the file, you'll get the date and time inserted for you after any previous text you might have typed. Or you can manually insert the date and time by pressing F5. And finally, if we go to the settings, you can change various options like the system theme color, various attributes of the text such as its size and font, along with whether it wraps around or just carries on into the abyss. Autocorrect options are also present here, as well as being able to adjust the tab's behavior, and even whether the notepad resumes where you left off. Number 30, calculator tips. First of all, by pressing this button, the calculator moves to the top right corner of the screen and stays in the foreground until you press the icon again or close it. Now if you extend out the calculator, you'll see some additional menu items. There's also a history section for your various variables, from which you can also copy them. Oh, and a final tip is keyboard shortcuts. If you press Alt 1 to 5, you'll open up the first 5 calculator options hidden in the menu on the left, and by pressing Alt and then certain letters, as you can see here, you'll launch each respective one. Currencies also work based on local cached rates. Number 31, Snipping tool. Once memed on, it's now actually super functional in 2025. Windows Shift S will launch the interface, allowing you to take a screenshot or record your screen, whether that be in full or select areas, and you can even quickly mark up an area before you take a screenshot. You also have a color picker tool present in here as well as the ability to extract text from whatever it is that you're looking at after you draw the region. It's also worth mentioning that if you take a screenshot and open it, you'll be provided with an expansive markup interface which has quite a few additional controls. However, Windows Shift S is the mini version of the snipping tool if you like. If you launch the actual app, you have even more controls, such as being able to add a delay timer or even open an external image into the snipping tool to mark up. The settings, however, is where you'll find the real nitty-gritty controls, such as changing the borders applied to your screenshot, clipboard settings, and save locations. Number 32, Quick Assist. If you need to gain access to another Windows 11 PC, then be sure to make use of this native app before going online and getting all these other premium services. It's simple and allows you to control other devices easily. Number 33, built-in Pomodoro tool. Now you might use timers and to that extent Pomodoro timers, and while there are apps out there for this, Windows actually has one built in, which can be found in the Clock app. It's native and simple to use. Number 34, Reliability Monitor. If you simply search reliability into Windows Search, I know, right, ironic, the first result will be the Reliability Monitor. When opened, which might take a second, you'll be presented with a full log and history of all the crashes and other failures that have recently occurred, from application failures, Windows failures, and other warnings. You can also sort it by day or weekly as you like. Number 35, Battery and Energy Reports. If you type the following command into the command prompt and then navigate to the folder location that the report gets produced, you can see your battery health of your computer. Well, you can work it out at least with the following formula. You can also get a similar report on energy consumption with this command if you like. Number 36, Power Plans for Laptops. If you type lid into Windows Search, you'll get taken to the control panel where you can customize and change the sleep schedule, as well as what exactly happens when you close a lid on your laptop for both battery and when plugged in. Number 37, Task Manager Tips. If you want to quickly get to the location of an application, launch it and then go to the Task Manager and right click and press Open Location. And if you go to the Details tab and right click on a process, you'll notice how you have the ability to set a priority of certain tasks in regards to resource consumption. I'm not sure how much of a difference this will make, but it is worth mentioning. Finally, in the settings of the Task Manager, you'll find settings which allow you to change the starting page of the Task Manager when you open it, refresh intervals, and whether you want it to stay in the foreground, as well as a few other options listed below. Number 38, interesting command prompt and terminal tips. If you go to a folder in File Explorer and type in CMD to open up the command prompt and type in the word tree and hit enter, your whole folder structure is mapped out graphically from that folder downwards, which is very cool. This also works in the terminal if you're wondering. You can also change the theme of command prompt by typing in color followed by a 2-digit number which corresponds to your background and text color. You can see what colors do what by typing / and question mark. Another really cool feature is the fact that you can create QR codes of any website from within command prompt. By using this command followed by the website name, once you press enter, command prompt will generate a QR code that will take you to the address when scanned. Number 39, Open as Administrator. Alright, a bit of a niche one really, but if you hold Shift, Control and Windows at the same time while opening or launching an application, you can open it as an administrator. Might be quite useful if you bounce between normal and admin opening access. Number 40, Quick Utilities Roundup. Okay, in this one I'll cover the best utilities I've covered across all my videos. Oh, and stick around for tip 50 by the way, which is where I'll do the same but focusing on applications instead. Links for which are in the description. Battery percentage icon does what it says and is a must have. Drink Optical tray, control the brightness of the external display with some keyboard shortcuts. Ear trumpet, change the audio source volumes in one click. Sound switch, change your sound output device with a keyboard shortcut. Auto dark mode, great if you prefer your theme to switch between light and dark mode on its own. Flux, gradually change the color temperature of your display rather than harsh transition depending on your time and location in the world. Expanso, a text expander tool that is modern and easy to use. If you want more utilities, then be sure to check out this playlist in the cards above. Number 41, a couple of device manager tips. In the view section, you might want to select show hidden, and hidden devices will appear in this kind of faded ghost color. And likewise, you don't have to stick to the default order shown. In the view tab, you have options to reorganize the devices in different ways as you like. Number 41, Character Map. Carrying on from the Windows period functionality, this tool called Character Map allows you to select characters by font type, manage your selection, as well as most importantly, give you instant information in regards to the Unicode for that character. Not for everyone, but as a built-in tool for some people, this might be quite handy. Number 42, finish setting up this device and similar settings. When you do an update or just restart your PC, you have a chance of getting this annoying splash screen asking you to sign your life away to Microsoft, with an option to simply remind you again in a few days time. Well, if you go into settings, notifications, and then to additional settings, it seems that against all odds, you can actually turn this off. You're welcome. Number 43, GPU per application basis. Now if you do any sort of gaming or creative stuff on your computer, then be sure to head to this section in the Windows settings to make sure that each app is using the correct graphics card for your computer. Number 44, storage settings. First is storage sense, allowing you to control how Windows frees up space when low, such as when the recycle bin gets emptied, clearing cache and system files, and even specific folders. While you're in here, I'd also recommend taking a look into the storage recommendations, some of which can be quite useful. And finally, be sure to take a look at the advanced storage settings, containing information like where new content is saved drive-wise, and even being able to get breakdown like you see for the C drive but for other drives as well. Number 45, hide the recycle bin. Many people have just accepted that the bin stays on the desktop, but you can actually hide this by going into settings, personalization, themes, and then clicking on the desktop icons tab. Control panel will then open up and you can simply uncheck the recycle bin. Finally, a nice clean desktop. Number 46, recycle bin sizes limit. Continuing with the recycle bin, when you delete stuff, you might get this pop-up saying how the file is too big to recycle and must be permanently deleted. To change its threshold, right click on the bin and go to properties, where you'll then see settings for this selection, location, custom size, and maximum size limit in megabytes. Now you might have thought that this is when the bin empties itself, but that option is present in the settings under storage sense. Number 47, default apps. Now I'm not just talking about things like your browser here, but rather more in-depth details like file types and what app is used for what. There's quite the breakdown in the settings, so be sure to check it out. Number 48, nearby sharing. And while in the quick settings panel, consider taking a look at the nearby sharing options, which is this little button. This is obviously a native file sharing solution, allowing you to share files with nearby Windows 11 PCs by right clicking, clicking share, share with nearby sharing, and then you should see the other devices pop up. Number 49, Wi-Fi sharing. So if you have a phone that needs to connect to your Wi-Fi, then go to that network in the Windows settings and click show password. Not only will your password appear, but a QR code will as well, which other person can scan. Number 50, best apps roundup. Alright, as mentioned in tip 40, here's a roundup of the best apps I've discovered after scouring the internet and making over 50 videos at this point. Everything Search, the ultimate search tool for finding files on your PC without question. KeePass, a local database software to store and manage your passwords. TerraCopy, pro-level copying software. Nora, a clean and minimal jukebox that you'll actually like using. File Pilot, the file explorer replacement that is faster than Explorer, more modern, and has way more features. ImageGlass, a comprehensive photo viewer to replace the original. Local Send, an airdrop alternative that works between any device seamlessly. Fluent Weather, a more modern weather alternative that doesn't serve you ads. DaVinci Resolve and Obsidian. I think I'm a bit biased with this one, but great apps for video editing and note taking. Hardware Info, comprehensive insights into your PC you won't find anywhere else. Though if you do want even more insights on Windows apps, then be sure to check out this playlist like I mentioned, or watch this video if you're still hungry for more. Either way, like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later.